As Americans go to fill out their brackets for March Madness, we discover many different methods for picking a winning team. Favorite colors, best mascots, or just choosing your favorite team to go all the way. I prefer a much better method. After watching all season and pretending I know ball, my chosen champion will lose on the first weekend and I'll finish behind a dog in my family bracket. Welcome to the Moon Stamp Cast. I am Jordan. This sounds like a therapy session to my Tony Soprano in therapy, Brian. And this is usually where I cut to Brian. But Brian's not here this week. Brian's on his honeymoon. So I hope he and his wonderful bride are having the time of their lives. It is just me this week. This is like the Zuko Alone episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender, except there's no plot development. It's going to be aimless and unfocused, as Czarface says, and Dog, which I don't know if anyone's going to know that song. And yeah, so this is going to be a very fun time. I'm sorry if you're listening to this. I was also going to pause for a second. I'm going to cut to Brian at some point, but not going to happen at this point because I totally forgot that was a joke I was going to do. I don't really know what the plan is for this. I've kind of come in a little bit aimless. I have my notes. I have my talking points. This could be 20 minutes. This could be 2 hours. So thank you for starting the podcast. Hopefully you stick around for the end of the podcast. I don't really know when that's going to be because the problem is I've been given a microphone, which means I'm just going to start talking. And who knows where it's going to go. Because Brian kind of keeps me in check when I'm trying to make like a dumb joke or something. But there's no one this time. It's just me, the fire alarm I've taken off my wall, and my keyboard right there. So I'm just kind of like all alone in this. So how I'm planning on structuring this, it's like usual. I'm going to talk sports, going to talk ball. Brian has sent me some notes to talk. So you will feel the presence of Brian, the spirit of Brian, the Yami Yugi of Brian in some sense. He's going to be behind me. Maybe I'll transform into him. Maybe I'll finally be able to reach the top shelf. But yeah, so this is Jordan Alone. Welcome to the Moon Stamp Cast. I am sorry for anything that happens. I am sorry for the next hour. It's going to be fun because I have always wanted to do like a Bill Burr style Monday morning podcast. Again, this is not a good start. This is not a good start. I'm already 2.5 minutes and I don't think I've talked about sports once. But I always want to do like a Bill Burr Monday morning style podcast. Also, sorry, side note, I'm just like looking at myself. It's really creepy. I don't like it. I wish like I could look at Brian because usually I'll look at Brian when I'm recording and I have like someone to look at or some like point of view, point of reference. It's like the batter's eye and outfit, the center field. Now I'm just like all alone and I don't like it. It's kind of scary. I don't know. This may be how Seventh-day Adventist, Jehovah's Witnesses. I think it's Jehovah's Witnesses feel about mirrors. So I get it, guys. My bad. I'm just going to start off with baseball per usual. The Japan series is going on right now. I'm going to be so honest. I really haven't watched it. I've seen a couple things I want to talk about. One, Ohtani might be the most popular man alive in that country. And like, I don't think that's a joke. I think he's the most popular man alive, and it's understandable. He hits the ball really well. I did see him strike out, which happens. Maybe that's because he's only getting paid $7 million this year. But the one point I wanted to make is that during the national anthem, when they were playing the American national anthem, behind the players was Pikachu. And behind the Japanese player, or not the Japanese players, behind the Dodgers was Pikachu. And for some reason, I could not stop laughing at that because the image of Pikachu listening to the American national anthem, I don't know, maybe Pikachu works for a defense corporation. Honestly, that wouldn't be that surprising to me just because if you think about Pokemon and like there's the Pokemon Civil War we've talked about, but the Pokemon Civil War where that's why like there are no men in the Pokemon series. It's mostly just like moms and their kids. And all like the men have died off. Now in the newer Pokemon versions of the game, you kind of see more men, but like in the early ones, you see like Lieutenant Surge, and there's really not more. And so there's the Pokemon Civil War that occurred that the Pokemon were used as weapons. Maybe Pikachu was an M4, but that is all to say the fact that Pikachu maybe works for a defense corporation is not surprising to me in the sense because that's kind of his job. That's what. I don't really understand Pokemon like lore, as in like I don't really understand what Arceus is. I didn't really keep up for a while, and then I got back in the last game. Oh my God, this is not going to go well. You're going to hear me say that the entire time, that this is just not going to go well. But yeah, So Pikachu just there's a Twitter account called like mascots during moments of silence, or like in the English soccer, there's like moments of silence for things, and they'll stand at center half, midfield. There we go. And like, but sometimes there's just like those weird mascots standing behind them, also in the moment of silence. It's like this big red blob or something. It's just a very funny account. One time I was in a class and I somehow found that account and only looked at that account and like was trying not to cry on camera because I was laughing so hard. So that was fun to see Pikachu honoring America. I think that also the gamble by MLB to go into the Japanese market like this is a really good gamble. It's the first time that I think MLB is really betting on a country to be another market. I know they try to do the Mexico City series. It doesn't have the same ring to it as the beginning of the season is in Japan. The MLB season starts in Japan. I imagine like that is quite the draw. I don't know the ticket sales. I imagine the Tokyo Dome sold out. I also don't know where they are, but I imagine they're at the Tokyo Dome. Dave Meltzer just gave that match that game 5 stars. That's for you, Christian. No one else is going to get that joke. Who knows if he listens to this? If you're my friend and listen to this, can you let me know at this point? You've made it 6 minutes in. But I do wonder if they're going to go far, like how much more they're going to go into the Japanese market. Because they're doing quite well right now, but it's very limited. And I know they went to Korea last year, but the Japanese market seems to be where it's at, given that I'd say your biggest star is Japanese. I don't think there's another star. I mean, maybe like there's an argument that Juan Soto is maybe a bigger star in like America, but I don't think that's true. Maybe in Latin America, I think Ohtani is the biggest star in the market. Again, imagine if you have Ohtani and Mike Trout, and the fact that I can remember his name says a lot about where Mike Trout is as a person right now. I hope he's doing well, but I don't know what his plan is in life. Speaking of Japanese players, there's a guy named Sasaki on Stanford. I think it's Rentaro Sasaki on Stanford. Dude's hitting bombs already. Now, he made the big gamble on himself when he could have, he was I think he hit the most high schools in Japanese high school history, which apparently the Japanese like high school series is going on right now. I need to watch it or like find out about it. Just because it seems like the coolest, it seems like their kind of version of college sports, but it seems like kind of cooler. Not to say that March Madness isn't cool. I love March Madness. It just seems, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It just seems like it's way cooler given the stands are filled with students. I don't know. I don't watch it. I just saw the highlights on TikTok. But he had to hit the most home runs in Japanese high school history, has come to America to play on Stanford when he could have gone into the Japanese league. So he bet on himself to come to America, play in college, and I imagine going to the draft. I don't know how drafting rules work in college for baseball. I from what I understand, you can just draft out of high school. I don't know if there's like you have to be in America for a year before you can get drafted. I don't really know, but I imagine he's going to go to the draft starting next year. Hit a home run in, I think, his first game at Stanford. So he's on his way already. He's the all-time home run leader. We'll see what happens with him. I just think Sasaki bomb. I mean, that was just teed up. Hopefully, I don't know if college stadiums can sell alcohol. I imagine they can. Like, yeah, they can definitely sell alcohol. I don't know why I thought they couldn't sell alcohol, but I imagine they should start selling sake bombs. Maybe they can't sell liquor. That's what I'm thinking of. They can't sell liquor. So I wonder if Stanford's baseball stadium can sell liquor. Don't know if it can. If it can, they should sell sake bombs or call them sake bombs. If they can't, California liquor license, except they're being playing. I don't know if the ACC allows liquor sales. I don't know. That's all to say they should sell sake bombs. Next on the list, football. We've had a little bit of football news. I definitely have not been as involved in the football offseason. For last week, Brian was the one who talked about all the trades. I love Joe Burrow. Let's get that out there real quickly. And I really want him to do well. I think Jamar Chase and T. Higgins signing for that amount is really cool for them. And it shows that the Bengals have an interest in keeping Joe Burrow happy. With that said, and I say this with all love, that defense is going to be the Bishop Sycamore defense. there was, and I don't mean to bring up Liverpool again, but this is very Liverpool-esque. There was a time during Liverpool's like 20, it was the or beginning of the Klopp era and the Rodgers era, where you had a really good front three, you had a good like offense, but then the moment you had to deal with the back four, it was like leaky. It was like a, I don't know, roof in Missouri. I don't know why I chose Missouri, but it's like a roof in Missouri where it's just leaking all the time. Um, and so I worry that with the Bengals going all in on the offense, it's kind of they're going to try the games like, remember them when the Dolphins just stomped the Broncos? Imagine that score, but on both sides. So I wonder if they're just going to go like all in on having the best offense possible and just say that'll get us to the Super Bowl. I know people have been saying like, oh, it's 2 seasons in a row, but Burrow was hurt the season before. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. I don't know. That's the thing. Like anything could happen. We'll see how the rest of the offseason goes. We have the draft in late April. I don't know what their draft board looks like. I don't really keep up with that stuff until like the day of or the day before. I just know Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders don't want to go to Tennessee or the Browns, which same brother, but I'm not playing professional football. So I'm just talking online by myself. Sorry, I had to drink something. I should let you know I'm drinking the not session, maybe it's session, like mocktail watermelon mojito. Not good. That's on me. I should have stuck with my Tapache. By the way, there's I don't know, this, no free ads, but there's this Tapache brand right here. I don't know if you can see it. I love this Tapache brand. I love Tapache. I think whenever I was in Clear or Moo, where my parents lived, I go to their Kroger nearby, and I think I bought them out of their Tapache one week. It was not good. There's a lot of sugar in it, but I don't know. It's fermented sugar, so it doesn't. It's like sodium. It's not real. Sodium isn't real. It can't hurt you. Just drink more water. I think that's the way it happens. So, whatever. Derek Stingley Jr. He's back. I think he probably deserved the contract he got. I don't know if there is anyone disagreeing with that. I haven't seen anyone disagreeing with it. About, I think it's 30 million a year, but it's like 29.5 or something because he's getting 89. No, it's 29.3 or something like that because it's 89 million guaranteed with $1 million, I think, a bonus or whatever of incentives. He definitely deserves it. I like looking back on last season, Derek Stingley and Junior Lassiter were the two guys who kept that not backfield, who kept the secondary like in check. I think they were the two. They had the lead, not the lowest completion rate when they were targeted in all the NFL. Both of them, which I mean, awesome. He's an integral part to the offense or the defense at this point. I think he should stay. I'm glad he's staying. I'm glad we gave him that money. Again, but if we're giving that much, what's the CJ Stroud going to look like? I don't know what CJ. I think CJ Stroud's up in a year. Don't quote me on this. I'm not good at contracts. I don't remember when contracts happen ever. I usually have to look it up the day before. I know, like, I just don't remember that stuff. It's like I don't remember names well, and I don't remember contract links well. I just know when it happens, it happens. It's kind of like my version of a child when I was a child, like how a baby happens. Like, it just happens when it happens. Same with contracts; they just kind of come up when they come up. So I don't know. That's about all I have for like baseball, football notes. I know there's hockey notes. Brian sent me his. I'm gonna be so honest with you. I forgot to do mine. I was so busy doing other things, trying not to, screw myself. So I'm gonna send you. So in the NHL for the Avalanche, they're 41, 23, and 5. They have 85 points in their third and central, which I think means they're in playoff position. Maybe. I don't really know, but I think that means that. Nathan McKinnon is still first in points with 103. He's winning by 2. I don't know who's in second. And Cale Makar is in 10th with 78. As Brian would say, all hail Cale. Congratulations to Cale for being awesome. I forgot for myself. Also, the Maple Leafs have been not a bad losing streak, but they have been winning a lot. I say this because I saw a video, I think it was just on Twitter or X or whatever, of some woman who I think came from Scotland who was like, there's a reason that I'm winning. It's because of my big fucking massive titties, which was really weird. But she was not wrong in her brawl size. She's probably in the double digits or no, double letters. I don't know how that works either. I'm just kind of ignorant to some things. I don't care to learn. I don't know what that says about me. I don't know. I mean, I know there's like, I think there's like there's like DD, GG, is there HH? That's just Hulk Hogan. I don't know if you can sign up for all HH. Actually, that's not a bad idea for a company, Hulk Hogan. If you want to like have HH brawl size and you want to use this as like, it's like HH. That's actually not a bad idea. I think I just got you some more money. So, he may be hurting for money these days. I don't really know. I saw he got booed that one time. HH is a thing. Is H cup bigger? Is HH what size is I cup? Oh, okay. Well, first of all, it's called I cup, so ICUP. They have an ICUP, bro. That's crazy. I don't know who thought of that. Okay, I'm learning things about things every day. But yeah, they have nice. If you're an ICUP cup, that's actually the more I say it, the dumber it is, and the funnier it is. Well, I'm talking about hockey. But yeah, Maple Leafs not doing great right now. They've kind of fallen off since the Four Nations. You'd imagine with Canada winning, they do be doing better. They are 40-24-3, and they are third in the Atlantic, which is not good because they were first and then second. It did be Calgary. I imagine there's some I almost said interdenominational, but there's some intergalactic. There's some inter-regional fighting. But yeah, so I mean, maybe it's because they had a lot of people on the Canadian national team. They just, they got their win. Also, Austin Matthews, I don't know, like, is he not a finisher? Does he have kids? Like, I mean, I'd imagine if you're a finisher, you have kids. I don't really know. He has two parents, but he does win things. He is 27. He's younger than me. Gosh, I am old. He's he's like a year older than me. He doesn't look it, but probably because he's done more. I wonder if he reuses retinol. I think it's the hair thing too. I kind of got lucky on the hair thing. Sweet almond oil and rosemary oil. That's what you should be using, boys. If you're listening to this and you're trying to figure out what you should do with your life, for your hair at least, you should use sweet almond oil and 4% rosemary oil. Rub it on your scalp every other night. You'll have nice hair. I feel like I have pretty good hair. I don't know. I can't see. It doesn't look. I don't think I have any spots right now. Hold off on saying anything until a later date, but I think I'm pretty good on that. Also, just looking at not Wikipedia, Google right now, because that's what I'm doing. This guy also has a weird hairline, or he's just a really big head. I don't know if I've ever seen William Nylander's head. I got told as Nylander. He also is younger than me, but only by a couple days. So it's I'm kind of starting to realize that professional athletes are younger than me. And like, I knew that, but it's like the veterans are my age now. The veterans are I'm looking at these, like, this guy's the captain. Austin Matthews is the captain of the Maple Leafs, and he's younger than me. Like, if Connor Bedard was, I'd give, it's like, okay, he's just young. But now I'm feeling like kind of old. Like, in this, I didn't expect this today. I thought I'd just like be doing a podcast by myself. Turns out I'm old. And like, I knew that, but dang, the veteran captain of the Maple Leafs is younger than me. And like, I don't know, is my hairline? I don't know. I probably shouldn't show that on camera. Someone's going to clip that or whatever. I don't know. There's no one who clips this. No one who watches this. No one's watching this. I'm all alone in this. This is quite going to be an interesting episode. Brian, if you're listening at this point, I'm sorry. Don't leave me again. I'm a helpless child. I don't know. I was going to make a Yu-Gi-Oh reference, but like, I feel like I already made that with the Yummy Yugi thing earlier. We do a really bad job of doing that sometimes. Like, I feel like I have to write down my notes, which I did this week. So good for me. Good for you. Also, Olivia Rodrigo, I saw the Lollapalooza lineup. Off topic. I saw the Lollapalooza lineup, and it's just like, it doesn't look great this year. Am I crazy? I don't know why I got the text. I think I signed up to like maybe go last year. I don't know. Things were happening last year. Let's see. I saw Olivia Rodrigo, and I think I saw, Olivia Rodrigo, Tyler, the Creator, Sabrina Carpenter, Rufus Du Sol, Luke Combs, Twice, which, by the way, I mean, they have the TT song, but also they have A$AP Rocky, Korn, Gracie Abrams, Doechii. These are, I mean, so it's a fine lineup, but it just doesn't feel like it's a great lineup. Am I crazy for that? I mean, Martin Garrix, KJ Elephant, Clara. Why is Clara? Really, Clara's not headlining. I mean, it's not actually surprising that Clara's not headlining. I also just realized I said Korn, and Korn is headlining. Oh, interesting. Um, interesting. Landon Conrath's going to be there. Really? Oh, good. I mean, I actually kind of want to go see that, but I don't think I might know three of his songs. Um, I'm just trying to see if I can like recognize him off the top of my head right now. If you're listening to this, I don't know what to tell you. This is again what Brian gets for leaving me alone to this. A Royal Otis is there, but like the thing with Royal Otis is like they do a good job with covers, but their songs do sound like every other song I've ever heard from like an alt indie band. Um, it's like Vampire Weekend in 1975 had a baby, but like it's nothing special about it. So I want to like it because is that Bill Murray? Bill Murray is also there. I think I actually do like Bill Murray, and I'm not talking like the actor. I'm talking about the band Bilmuri. So if you want to go see Bill Murray, if you're like in the Chicago area or thinking about going to Lollapalooza, you do have some like good not headliners. Actually, I don't know. I don't know how Lollapalooza works. I'll be so honest with you. Obviously, I've never gone because I signed up and didn't go. Um, is Phineas like Billie Eilish's brother, or is that Phineas T-Pain is going? Huh. I'm surprised he's not headlining then. I feel like T-Pain should be a headliner. Because like he has his songs, but then he has the other, like he does a good job covering songs. So I'm kind of surprised he's not headlining and like singing, doing like maybe he's doing a cover show. Maybe that's like remember when it was 2 years ago at Glastonbury when Rick Astley did his show, then he did the Smith show. Maybe it's like that. JPEG Mafia is there. I love JPEG Mafia, but he's such an odd person. I can't really say much. Bleachers is not. I mean, it's not surprising me that Bleachers isn't headlining, just because I think Bleachers is still like not niche. It's still a big band, but I think most people know Jack Antonoff as the producer. Jack Antonoff. It's like the Jeffrey Epstein, the financier. It's like Jack Antonoff, the producer. But he is a bandist. He has a band. So I don't know. This is totally Foster the People. Interesting. I didn't know that. I mean, I didn't. I think I knew they were still around, but I didn't know they were still around. But there's this band called Silly Goose. I'm gonna have to look up Silly Goose. I don't know. This is just like is Chicago Youth Symphony. Is that like an actual band? It's Chicago Youth Symphony Orchestra. Is that an actual band? Or are we talking about the Youth Symphony Orchestra, which like doesn't seem like a bad like thing to see. So I'm gonna take a drink. Still disgusting every time I drink it. Okay, that's enough of this. Again, sorry, we're at 23 minutes. Honestly, this thing's usually an hour, so I think I can get through an hour. Just on personal notes, so before we get to the March Madness, I went to the AAC Championship or tournament in Dallas or Fort Worth this weekend, the same city. They're 45 minutes away, but they're the same city. There's a reason Love Field gets them. Or there's also Dallas Airport. I don't know. It's Love Field and there's Dallas. I think Love is like the hobby where it's like only Southwest. Again, I don't know this for a fact, but I think that's what it is. I went to the AAC Championship this weekend. It was a relatively fun time. I'm going to pause this. All right, so I went to the AAC Championship this past weekend. It's always a fun time because it's not like Big 12 or like SEC basketball, but it is a fun time nonetheless. Just because it's not. You see like a Memphis, you see a UAB, you see a UNT who actually play good basketball. But you see them, just at like a smaller venue. There's not a ton of fans. Memphis always travels well, but no one. I mean, UNT traveled well, but that's like they traveled down the road, so it's like traveling to a home game basically. It was fun nonetheless. My kind of takeaway from the weekend was there are two players this weekend that kind of reminded me of each other, and that's number 7 on Tulane, whose name I'm sorry I don't remember, and number 24 on UNC, the guy with the lane violation. And they both did the thing this weekend where they let their team down, and at the end of the game, and like you could argue the things you could argue, UNC was never going to win that game, but it's like Texas being A&M in the SEC tournament, where like, yeah, of course A&M's or Texas is gonna play a little bit harder because of the fact it's A&M. It's like the same thing with UNC. Like, of course UNC is going to play harder because it's Duke. Duke is just going to make them work harder because it's the rivalry. There's a little bit like you're already at your tournament, so you're kind of wanting, like, you can get a bid if you're not going to, like, well, I was going to say UNC wasn't going to get a bid, but it turns out they got a bid anyway. I'm really not going to talk about that just because it's been hashed to death. I'm definitely going to talk about it though, so I'm going to say that now and then. Like, I'm going to bring it up later. But those two players let their teams down at the end of the game. They both had like the same but very different reactions. Where number 7 clearly down Tulane, like, clearly understood what his role was in the game. He was their point guard. He was their leader of the team. He didn't have a great game. I think it's because they put like a big man on him the entire game. He was only, I can't imagine he was very tall because the guy he's going against was like 6'7", 6'9". So I can't imagine it was like a good thing for him. I think he was really struggling the entire game to figure out what in the world was happening. But they both did this thing where, like, they realized that they lost their team the game. And there is something like devastating about that human emotion where you watch, like, unless it's, I don't know, unless like a Patrick Mahomes, you watch someone who's like going through this horrible moment. And I was there in person, so I saw like the cameraman walk out and just zoom perfectly in on number 7 as he had his hand in his hands. Still in the court after he made a pretty big turnover at the end of the game, giving Memphis the ball back. Again, Memphis probably was going to win not going to win anyway, but it's not surprising they won to me. They did not play as well as I think they meant to play, but also Tulane stepped up to the plate. Memphis also has that problem when they play to their opponent, which kind of sucks, but I think in the case of the tournament, it's going to be better. But so yeah, it's just kind of devastating watching that human emotion. I do feel less badly for UNC just because, one, they made the tournament, and two, it was a dumb lane violation. I don't like, they also got themselves in that position for some reason. Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't feel as bad. I think it's because I just don't like UNC right now. I think I have a UNC hater, but there's something about devastating human emotion when you see it and you see it played out in front of you for what, remind you, they're children, like not children, but they're just kids. Like they're like like the age of like a college student. They are a college student. And to see them let down people, like millions of people like that. And the Tulane guy didn't let down millions of people, but the UNC guy did. It is devastating in some sense. And so it does make me wonder, like, I don't know. I hope I'm never that guy who's on here on this podcast taking out like anger on a college student. Like I try not to do that in the first place. Like I never like to get angry at anybody about sports. It's just sports. I love sports, but it's also just sports. Like there's no reason for me to get on here and, you know, like try to find Laramie Tunsil's home. Like that's insane. Or like talk badly about him as a person. Like he can be a bad player, but he may be a fine person. I don't know. I just hope that like I never become that person from, I mean, it's just a weird thing to do as well. Like imagine, I remember last year during the A&M UH game where so Elvin came in and he shot those free throws. I think he I don't know, something with the spread. I don't know, the cover. The UH didn't cover, like something didn't happen. I don't know what happened. I just remember like there were grown men genuinely tweeting death threats at Elvin because he won UH the game. And it's like, dog, what are we doing here? Like, he was what, 21? He's just winning the game. And you're putting death threats on him because you didn't get your bet right? Like, I don't know. I don't ever want to be that person. I hope, and that goes for all sports. So I don't know. That was kind of a weird moment for me last year because I was watching like X, or was it Twitter still? I don't know. It was Twitter X, whichever. It still is Twitter in my mind. It never will not be. I was watching that being like, what is wrong with these people? I don't know. It's something I think about sometimes. So, okay, it's time now for the bracket. So before we like do all that, I'm going to tell you what Brian picked. I'm going to tell you some of what I picked as well, but I'm kind of in this like, I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing right now because I don't know what I'm doing. Because I like have thoughts in my head, and I made a bracket. I made my initial bracket. I need to go and make like my thought bracket where I actually put thought into it because I didn't put thought in my first bracket. So Brian's Final Four: Iowa State, St. John's, Arizona, and Houston. with his winner being Houston, which is actually not a crazy pick. I think there are a lot of people picking Houston this year, but I don't think were picking it last year. I'm not picking Houston, mostly for my emotional well-being, because if I pick Houston and they win, I've just done, it's right, whatever. If I pick Houston and they lose, not only has I lost the bracket, I've also lost my team. And it's like this double whammy of emotion. So I never choose Houston. I also I never think they're going to win. I think it's like a battered Cougar syndrome. I think Jim Nantz talked about this last year, where it was like Cougars always had a chip on their shoulder. It's the Cougar high mentality. So I don't know. I don't for some reason believe that UH can do it. And I want to believe that they can do it, but I don't think I can believe I'm physically incapable of doing so, because it just seems wrong. I don't know. The one day they're going to win. That's my fake wooden desk from Wayfair. It was Wayfair. One day I think they're going to win. Also, check a peep in my mirror. Yeah, I've had that here for a long time. I've not done anything with it. I have plans to do something with it, but it's just there. So that's beside the point. Brian, wonderful picks. I'm glad you got them out there. I do think picking Arizona is a little crazy, but I like it. I like where your head's at there. I think what else you had? Brian, talk to me, baby. You had what? Iowa State. I think that's a little crazy because Iowa State has the injury to that guy. They've had a really bad final stretch of the season due to injuries and illness, and they're just not playing with the same grit and determination they used to. I think that's, if you had told me last season, I'd be saying oh, I don't know if Iowa State is going to make it that far. I'd call you crazy. I don't know. I'm not going to cut that because I don't really want to. So you can hear me yawn. I yawn a lot. I'm very sleepy today as well. It's also 6:17, which is nice. It's light out now, because used to at this time it'd be dark outside and have to oh, it looks bad from in here. So oopsie. Okay, so I'm just going to go through my thoughts about the bracket, and we can go from there. I could also pull up the bracket and just have it there so you can see it, but most of you are just listening. So I don't know. I can just if I want to TikTok at this. I'm also going to ask, if you're listening to this at this point, hi there. Sorry. Thanks for coming. Text me and I'll I don't know, message me and I'll give you something. But let me know what clips you like, because I don't think I'm a good judge of my own character. I'm going to look back and think this was a horrible episode. So sorry, Brian. This way, don't leave me alone. I probably could turn this into a karaoke at some point. I can really do whatever I want, and he can't stop me. Which, I feel like I don't use my free. Do you ever think you don't use your free will enough? Sometimes I'll do something and here, I'll just I'm not. For those of you listening, I'm just gonna pour some. I'm not gonna pour that on myself because I don't want to get sticky. But then that's not good use of free will, is it? Maybe it's a good use of free will. I feel like I don't use my free will enough to do fun things. I don't know. I don't know. There's some episode of some TV show where you had to do the thing that you didn't think you were supposed to do, it was crazy for you to do, and that's how you got a paradox. If it's Rick and Morty, please don't tell me, because I don't need to know that. I hope I never get associated with that show, except it's kind of a good show, but I can't tell people I watch it. But I just don't feel like I use my free will enough. I don't know. I the whole point, pouring, I was gonna pour a drink on myself. This is just so bad as well. I don't know. It's not. It's success. Recess, not success. It's recess. Recess watermelon mojito. Ugh. Don't try it. Oh, bad. I'm gonna become a food reviewer. I also have thoughts on food reviewers. I kind of get annoyed by the whole state of the food reviewer economy. I don't know if you do at all. It's just they all go to the same places and say the same things about the same places, and it's it just, do you remember that clip of I think was it clear voice, clearance? It was all those news stations that were owned by the same company that were saying the same thing, and you overlaid them where it had 22,248, where they were all saying the same thing. It feels like that when I watch a food reviewer. They'll just be let's go to Houston's newest coffee shop. And it's dog, That's not, no, I don't care. Like, maybe, I mean, but in a way, I also don't care about what I'm doing. There's 6,000 sports podcasts. Do any of them talk about this? Probably not. Have they talked about free will lately? Also, like, do we have free will? That's a real question I have. Like, what is free will? Like, okay, here's the thing. Can you fly to Iran right now from the United States? The answer is no. So, like, you don't have free will. Now, you can also, like, fly to Germany, then fly to Iran, or like fly to Dubai and fly to Iran. I don't think you can go Germany to Iran, but I don't think you can fly America to Iran directly. So you don't have free will there. So, like, what is free will? These are questions I have and more on the sports podcast. I should be talking about the bracket at this point. I'm not talking, but like, I don't know. Do you ever think about that? I'd say to the person listening to this, hopefully, maybe it's just me. Do you ever think about like the free will you have and how you use it? Because I do this. I feel like I do the similar things every single day, and I don't exercise my free will to an extent where like I feel like I'm using it well. It's like the whole thing. Like, I can walk right now. So should I be walking in the sand because one day I'm going to miss walking in the sand? Except I don't want to get my feet dirty. I hate getting my feet dirty. That's why I wear like slides all through my house. So I get really annoyed with which I used to hate wearing shoes inside. I still hate wearing shoes inside. I just like slides inside, except I wear them on the outside as well. So I don't know. I just don't like the concept. But no, I just don't feel like I use my free will enough. And so I don't know. I mean, what could I change? I mean, there are many things I could change. And I think I go through relative changes throughout my life. Like in high school, I had a different style every year. I mean, I'm not the same person I was a year ago. I'm not the same person I was months ago. I think I've changed, and hopefully for the better. With all that said, like, what does it mean to change? Like, have I used the ability I have to make decisions properly to the extent that someone who looks at me who doesn't have the same ability to, like, let's say there's free willers and non-free willers. There's like free willies and non-free willies. This is like Severance. I'm just describing Severance, I think. I've just invented Severance, the show. That's not good. I'm sorry, I'm thinking. Also, Severance a good show? Like, I know it's a good show, but like, is it a good show? Is it a good show? I feel like it's too many people like it. But you can say the same thing about like Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. So this is just a diatribe on: do you believe in free will? Is free will real? Like, but then also the question is like, if free will is real, where does free will come from? Because it has to stem from somewhere, right? Like, it cannot exist without something else. Like, there's nothing that exists just to exist. Everything exists on the basis of something else. Which, I mean, that's why, like, I think maybe you can make the argument for the Big Bangs. Maybe we have like Big Bang free will. Like, is free will Big Banged? Did it just appear? Did it not stem from something? I don't know. Sound down in the comments and let me know what you think about free will. I'm going to take a break and talk about the bracket next because I talked about free will for, I think, 10 minutes, maybe more. Okay, Jordan's back. Let's talk about the bracket now because I actually do want to talk about the bracket. I have like talking ADHD. I don't have ADHD. I have talking ADHD where like I will talk about something and then come back to the thing. I go on a lot of diatribes. Like my conversations with my friends are very diatribe heavy. So let's just go through this. I'm going to go through the South first. By the way, so my picks were Michigan State, Duke, Houston, and then I had St. John's, but I don't like St. John's there. I think it's that I don't want to pick Florida because Florida and St. John's both feel like casual takes, if that makes sense. Like if you're picking St. John's to win, if you're picking Auburn, St. John's, or Florida to win, I feel like you're doing a casual take there. I think that's mostly because like I don't particularly think St. John's can win. I just don't think that like they're great. I just think that the talent depth or they played well enough to get to the point where they're winning the national championship. Would I like them to? Of course. I think it'd be really cool for them to win. I just don't think like this is their year. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Rick will prove me wrong. But I don't know. I don't think it is. But my national championship. This is from my nothing bracket. This is from like our initial reaction bracket. I'm going to say this. Never choose the favorite unless it's last year where the favorite won. Because UConn was favorite last year. I'd like to think, I think Duke is the favorite this year. My initial bracket, I had Duke winning because it just feels like they did kind of steamroll the ACC, and the ACC is like not great this season, but they did steamroll the ACC. And the ACC tournament, they didn't have Cooper Flagg or the other guy whose name escapes me. I'm sorry, the other guy whose name escapes me, who's not Cooper Flagg. And they still won. They actually had pretty incredible depth. And so I think that says a lot about UNC, or not UNC, Duke making it a far way into this tournament, because I don't think Cooper Flagg is playing this first round. I think Mississippi State, I just don't even think he plays the second round. But the problem with that is, like, do you want him not to play for a week or 2 weeks? Because then he's going to get rusty. And like this late into the season, you do want you don't want much rust on them. You want to be able to go and just go. But maybe he's just that good that he doesn't have rust. So I do wonder what John Shire's thought process is. Also, like, how is Cooper Flagg's ankle? I know it's not like MRI hurt, but it's hurt. Well, they had an MRI. It wasn't hurt on the MRI. But I do wonder, like, how hurt is he? Is this like one of those situations where he's hurt, but he's going to play? Or is he not hurt, but they're worried he might hurt himself? I don't think he's playing first round, though. Also, by the way, filming this before the playing games, I'd count the playing games as March Madness. Like, you made the tournament. That's why we had the whole like dust up about UNC. They made the tournament. Which also, like, just quickly on that, before I get into anything else, I would love it if we let those like last, like the 68, 67, 66 go to teams from like the A-Sun. I mean, get the Sun Belt in here a little bit more. Like, there are 4 winners in the Sun Belt this season. Just put something else in. Turns out I can also watch this live right now. I have an ad blocker on. That's kind of on me, honestly. I will be watching Alabama State and St. Francis U. It's St. Francis U, Pennsylvania, I think. I don't know. I think that's what it is. But I will be watching this live as I talk to you. So you can kind of timestamp this if you like. If you're that bored and you also somehow stumbled upon this video where a guy talks about free will for, I think, 15 minutes, go ahead, have fun, shoot your eye out. I also look like the kid. I was always told I looked like the kid who said, "I'll shoot your eye out," or "It'll shoot your eye" from A Christmas Story. Do I? Who knows? I'm an older, as we discussed, I'm an older man now who now is the veteran age for any sort of sport and anywhere. But with that said, let's just go through the South kind of quickly. I don't think the South is that crazy. Now you may say, Jordan, but you had Michigan State coming out. Yeah, because like I'm kind of in a weird position where I don't know what I want from the South, because Auburn was the quote unquote best team the entire season. No questions asked. And they did beat UH. And like, I think Kenneth Pomeroy talked about this, where sometimes when you go into your conference, you kind of fall into the habits of your conference. And the problem with the SEC is that they're very, very shooty. They play a high octane, fast paced offense, and they shoot a lot. Does that translate to the tournament? I don't know. But as someone who was a Big 12 enjoyer last year and saw the Big 12 just basically fall apart, the UH also has the worst luck in the tournament ever when it comes to injuries. But I saw them kind of fall apart. The Big 12 as a whole fall apart last year. I don't know if the SEC can do it, because I think also having 14 teams in is batshit crazy to me. There's no reason Oklahoma or Texas should be in this. Oklahoma's like 6-13 in SEC play. That's like 300 or like you have a 333 record. Like you have like a 1/3 win record, which is crazy. Texas should not be sniffing this. I even be inclined to say Georgia shouldn't be here. I'm not going to fight you on that one, just because I did say they played themselves into the tournament 2 weeks ago, but it still seems like crazy to have them in here. Like there's not 14 good teams from the SEC. They've all played themselves, so it seems good because they have some, like, don't get me wrong, I said what I said. At the same time, if like Auburn makes a run or like Florida makes a run, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to be like, or Tennessee, I'm not going to be like, oh my, who could have seen this coming? I don't think Alabama will make a run. I don't think it's Alabama's year. I think they're too inconsistent when it comes to shooting. They love shooting, That's the problem. They love shooting a little too much. So I don't think if they're off, they're off. Same with A&M, but that's just kind of a different story because that's just Wade Taylor. Can Wade Taylor shoot well? And then the question is if Wade Taylor can shoot well. They also rebound well. So I'll just go through this before I'll go to A&M Yale. Yale's winning that game. I think that's one of the favorite picks. So I'm not like, I wish I had more like crazy picks. I don't feel like this is a crazy pick bracket. There are some things I like, I don't know, I picked that are crazy. But I did think that like Yale's a 3-point shooting team. They have like good solid fundamentals on the 3-point range. They don't really shoot it a lot from inside the arc. Like they're not really inside like mid range. They don't, I don't think they do great rebounding either. But the things, if you're shooting well, you don't need to rebound. And if A&M's not shooting well, which just means Wade Taylor isn't shooting well, I think you're good. I think this is like another game where there's going to be like an Auburn A&M or Auburn Yale last year where they kind of just do better than you. It's not like it's not like they play like this insane ball. It's just like they're just better in that game. I also think A&M's just on a cold streak. One of the most important things coming into this entire tournament is being hot. It's like in baseball, you have to be hot. Being in the playoffs, you have to be hot. With here, you have to be hot. And there's like guys like teams like Auburn that just aren't hot. A&M's not hot. I'd even argue Alabama's not that hot, even though they've done better than Auburn. But I just imagine I'd say they're not that hot. So that's my pick right there. Yale wins. Louisville, Creighton. Also Louisville. Crazy, right? Why are they there? How can you say that Louisville's an 8 seed when they're number 10 in the nation, but UNC deserves to be in? Like, I don't understand that logic. Like, either the ACC is horrible and you have to put the number 10 team in the nation as an 8 seed because the conference they're in is so bad, or UNC deserves to make it in. Now, again, not to rehash this, I don't think it matters. Like, UNC's not winning this. The number 68 seed was not going to win this. Like, sure, West Virginia had a great case to get in. Sure, Indiana had a great case to get in over North Carolina. But like, I don't know, if you put like a Sun Belt team there, does that really make that much of a difference? Like at the end of the day, this team's going to go, I don't know, they're going to go beat by Illinois. Or no, they're not. Sorry, they're not going to go. They're going to go beat by Ole Miss. It doesn't matter. So like, I get the frustration because Bubba it up, and I feel like it was a great name for a guy who maybe used some not backroom deals, but if you're in a hotel conference room for like a week straight, you're sequestered like you're in jury duty from the rest of the world. You're going to the hotel bar every night. You guys are shooting the shit, having a great time, making friends. You know, maybe you know a guy who knows a guy, you know a guy who knows a guy. Well, Bubba's like, hey, boys, I got to walk out the room while you talk about UNC. Well, are you going to sit there and be like, well, no, they don't deserve it? Or are you going to be like, hey, like, listen, guys, I think there's a case to be made. You know, maybe over West Virginia because they don't have a Tyler DeVries. Tyler DeVries, is that his name? They don't have him. You know, Indiana, they lost some bad games. Maybe UNC gets in. They're a blue blood. You know, they had a hard non-conference schedule, kind of. Again, it doesn't really matter because this team's not going to win. It's just, I think it's the principle behind it that made everyone so angry. It is annoying because, like, there's something to be said about a smaller team. Like, West Virginia making the tournament this season would be big. Indiana making the tournament this season kind of continues the Indiana legacy. Anyone else make the tournament, you make the tournament. So I understand the anger and the logic behind it. At the same time, it just doesn't matter. Like, it says something about NCAA corruption, but are we surprised by that? Huh? Oh my gosh, the NCAA is a little bit weird and corrupt. Oh my God, what? Who would have guessed? You're telling me it's Nick Saban. You're telling Nick Saban to me for the first time. Indiana, Alabama Jones over there for the first time that it's a little bit corrupt in there. It's like, of course it is. Like, of course you're making bet deals with people. You're talking to people. You have your friends on the committee. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe that's why Louisville got an 8 seed. Someone just really hated Louisville in that room. I don't know. Who knows? I think UC San Diego is going to win. Just eye test. I don't know why. I just want them to win. Some of this is just I want them to win, so I'm going to say they're going to win. That's part of why I don't do well in March Madness because I'll look at something and be like, yeah, like they're objectively the worst team. It's like me and the Cardinals this season. If you followed along to our picks, I picked the Cardinals to win every game except I think one in the beginning of the season. And there was no logic behind it. I picked games when they should have lost. They did lose, but I stuck with it. That's maybe that's a free will thing. Is that a free will thing? Answer in the comments below. Let me know if that's free will. I mean, that is a free will thing, but it's just like a dumb use of free will, right? It's like I could do something more with that other than like pick the Arizona Cardinals to win a game, an NFL football game. There's no bearing on anything other than me and Brian. Iowa State. I mean, there's a world where Lipscomb wins this game. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, but Iowa State's also kind of cold right now. It's kind of crazy. They're a 3 seed too. Like, how are they a 3 seed and BYU's BYU is 6? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, what is? I wish they had to come out and give reasoning for things. Like obviously Auburn, Alabama, Auburn, Duke, Houston, Florida, probably the number ones. Maybe you can make a case like Tennessee deserved. I don't know. Maybe you can make a case. You can make a case Tennessee deserved it. Make a case that maybe like St. John's deserved to win, but I don't think St. John's deserved to win. But like, it's not crazy. I need someone to like answer for their crimes. Like, I need like a Supreme Court opinion on why is BYU a 6 seed. I need some Supreme Court opinion on why is Louisville an 8 seed. Like, there has to be some logic behind it, right? I mean, again, I just got off the thing like, well, of course, NCAA is correct. Who would have thought? I don't know. I just want someone to talk to me about this at some point. But that said, Michigan State wins. I don't know. New Mexico, Marquette. I like Richard Pitino. The problem is, like, I don't trust Mountain West teams. I pick them every year. I like go into the tournament and I'm like, there's going to be a Mountain West team that makes it. The San Diego State, like the years they got to the national championship, I didn't pick them because I didn't believe in them. So I do this every time. Like every couple, I think last year I picked New Mexico. I think I've gone to maybe the Final Four. Like, I just believed in New Mexico. I was like, they've done well in the Mountain West. They're going to kill it. They're going to do great. And then they just let me down. So I don't trust the Mountain West team. Like, I just physically can't. It's like trusting Pac-12 teams back in the day. It was hard to trust the Pac-12 team to win. It's just like every year they'd like let you all down. Like, you'd have so much hype about Pac-12 teams and they go play. They wouldn't do well. So Marquette, sorry, you're being New Mexico. I just don't trust you, New Mexico at this point. Tom Izzo, there's been talk about Tom Izzo having like the best PR team. Do you guys watch anything but the tournament? Like, he's actually a good coach, right? Like, just because he doesn't win a national championship doesn't mean like winning a national championship is really, it's like getting a baseball. Like, it's one of the most difficult things you can do in coaching because you have to win. I think, let me count real quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have to win 6 games. Cool. You have to win 6 games. 6 games in a row against like, not only do you have to win against like teams that are actually good, like every team in this, decide what I've said. Every team in this tournament is actually a good team. We're not dealing with South Carolina's here. They're like a relatively, they can win games. And so you're sitting here going like, oh yeah, these teams can actually win. Like, is there a world where Brian beats Michigan State? Yes, there is. Is it this world? Probably not. But there is a world nonetheless where Brian beats Michigan State. So I really do think, and I've only gone through the South at this point, but and out of this, I don't think Auburn comes out. I think Auburn they have lost their steam. I think maybe they're not not the big club. The SEC is not as good as people think they are, and so I think coming out of this, I mean, I'm not. By the way, I'm not saying they're losing to a 16 seed. That's crazy. I'm saying maybe like they get to the Sweet 16. They run into like a. Well, on this, I actually have UC San Diego and Yale winning. I mean, maybe they lose to Creighton. Maybe they lose to Louisville. I actually have Creighton beating Louisville as well. That's my like soul pick. I need to actually go do research on that. That's my soul pick is Creighton beats Louisville. But I mean, maybe they don't even get to the Elite Eight. Maybe they lose in round 32. Actually, I think my soul read was them losing the round of 32. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. But that's my soul read. So I don't know. We'll see what but in my opinion, I think Michigan State comes out of this. I don't know though. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, the way I do this as well is I go through the 1 seeds, so Auburn, then Duke. So we're going East next. Duke comes out of this, right? Like Duke is just a really good team. As much as I want to hate on Duke and be like Coach K is the devil or like John Shire is the son of Satan, like it's a good team and they got depth. And they got some real stars on that team. Like Cooper Flack's going to go kill it in the NBA, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a good talent scout. I thought Reed Shepherd would do a good job in the NBA. He's done fine, but like he's not killing. He's no Jared McCain. So Duke is definitely coming out of this. Maybe I think there's maybe a world where Liberty beats Oregon. Maybe. I mean, I don't hate that idea. I'm not like a Liberty defender. Also, Liberty, like Jerry Falwell Jr., weird guy, right? Like we all remember the things he did. He's just a kind of an odd dude. I don't know. I know people who went to Liberty, and it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I mean that like derogatorily. Hopefully they don't listen. I don't think they know I do this. There's one guy I really hate who went to Liberty. And I'm like, oh, you went to Liberty? Oh, okay. That's okay. It just kind of tracks. Also Liberty shoots a lot of threes. They six and they shoot a lot. They should have a good defense, but also they're in the Conference USA. I do think they actually there's a chance they can win. I'm looking at some. I think there's a chance they could win. They could beat Oregon. I don't know, man. Like the thing with this is like I think once we get into conference play, there's a big issue where you start playing people in your conference, and so you get so used to things that happen within that conference that it's hard for me to judge. It's hard to judge. Like that's the reason like everyone always doubts like a UConn. Like the Big East, I feel like it's doubted a lot. I say that as I say St. John's can't win a national championship. The Big East gets doubted a lot. And like every once in a while, they just show you that they're a really good basketball conference. BYU, I think BYU is going to go farther than people think. I wouldn't be surprised if they make Sweet 16. They're a great shooting team. I think I don't know, they just have it. I think Wisconsin's hot right now, but seeing their season, I'm just not like super impressed. Again, this is just me like talking out my ass, kind of. I didn't have a ton of notes for this thing. I'm just like soul reading. A lot of this is soul reading, like the eye test. Like St. Mary's could beat Alabama. I actually kind of want St. Mary's to beat Alabama because I think St. Mary's can beat Alabama. St. Mary's I think can beat Alabama because they play solid defense. I don't think Alabama's good when it comes to defense. Alabama has to be on. They have to be on. Like they're gonna who are they playing in the first round? They're gonna kill Robert Morris. Like duh. They're gonna kill Robert Morris. But I think like once they get St. Mary's, they might get killed by St. Mary's. Not killed. Let's take that back. They're not gonna get killed. They're gonna have some issues with St. Mary's. I think St. Mary's actually beats them. It'd be cool to get Vanderbilt, Alabama, only because it's an SEC matchup, and we can see. I don't know. There's an SEC matchup. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of SEC matchups. Like if A&M and Auburn get to the Sweet 16, there's an A&M matchup, which I think I said that I think A&M's a really solid defensive team, and that was the day, but like the 2 days before the day they beat Auburn, maybe. Auburn didn't look at that game, and I don't think it's because A&M's that good of a defense. I think it's because Auburn was still fucking high off of celebratory emissions and also marijuana. I just like I don't think it's going to take me taken down. This is a aimless. I've also been talking for like an hour straight, so sorry if I get to like a little. If you're still here, let me give you a sloppy wet kiss. I'll use tongue and everything to thank you for being here. All right, I'm going to the Midwest now. I think Houston comes out only because I don't want to trust Houston. I don't want to trust Houston because I love Houston and I don't want to trust them because if I trust them, they hurt me. They've hurt me all the time. Other than 2021, they didn't. They lost to Baylor and that hurt me. But I just feel hurt. Like, also, I've been making the joke for the past month of, hey, it's going to be really funny when Auburn faces a 9-seed Gonzaga in the second round. And so now Houston's going to have to face a 8-seed Gonzaga in the second round. And Portman goes, what about Georgia? Gonzaga's going to win that game. Like, Gonzaga is just going to win that game. Gonzaga is a top 10 KenPom team. Also, just based on the eye test, they're just a better team. So that really sucks. I thought that was a really funny joke, and I thought it was a really good joke. And I think I've said on this podcast, like, a ton where it's like, hey guys, let's look at Auburn when they have to face a 9 seed Gonzaga. And now I have to suffer through a second round Gonzaga. That's not going to be fun. Do I think Houston pulls out? Yes. Am I confident? No. But I'm also just not confident in Houston. Not because I'm not a good like arbiter of whether Houston's a good team or not. Because in my mind, they're a very bad team who can't win games. Only because I am scared to pick them. Because if I pick them, then they hurt me when they lose. If I don't pick them and I pick like Duke to win, oh well, it's okay then. Like nothing can hurt me. Okay, I already knew it was going to happen. So if they lose in like the Sweet 16 or the round of 32, maybe they used SIU as SIU Edwardsville. It's okay. I didn't choose them to win. So who knows what's going to happen with that? I don't really know. Sorry, I do know. I just said I do know. I just don't like it. It hurts me. High Point also is going to beat. It's going to be a High Point. I want to choose McNeese. Now I say that. What was the stat I saw with McNeese? McNeese is a top 70 offense. They're not pushing the pace. Okay, Clemson's going to want to push the pace. McNeese will hold the ball the entire. They do like a you know how professors sometimes have like, oh, it's one exam for your entire grade. That's how McNeese, they do one possession for the entire game. That decides it. I think Clemson's going to try to play a little bit fast. I think McNeese is going to slow that shit down like crazy, and McNeese is going to pull it out. It's not going to be a fun game to watch, and it's not going to be what I call a technical game to watch. It's going to be a lot of just kind of slow-paced offense, because I think McNeese is going to try to slow them Clemson down on offense as well. Also, I'm not choosing the ACC this year. I say as I choose Duke to win the national championship. That's just my soul read. I'll come back tomorrow after this podcast has already been filmed and edited and all that, and make a decision. But also, I'm going to say this. I think we're going to have a Moon Stamp one. I probably should tweet that out tonight or like talk about that tonight. That's something I got to do later. But just because that'll like show my actual picks. I'll have like one bracket in there to say this is Jordan's bracket. But until then, there's no official bracket from me. There's like a soul read bracket and like my inklings of oh yes, I do think McNeese can be Clemson based on this Ken Palm data. High Point wins. I've been big on High Point for the past half a season. High Point finally got here. They have the guy who's the granny shot. Brandon Smith, honestly, and who's the tall guy? Brandon Smith, I think, like, here's the thing. Purdue actually might win this. Purdue probably should win this. I want High Point to win so badly, and I just want them to win. I've been a fan of them for this entire season. They've done a bad job of the past couple of years winning their conference tournament, so they missed the tournament. They're in the tournament finally. They kind of went on a run in the Big South. I'm hoping for the best. Illinois wins. I don't know why. I don't want Texas or Xavier to win. I don't like either of those teams. Not happy with it. UCLA, I hate Mick Cronin, but I kind of like him. I also really want him to have to play in the East Coast. I don't know where the time. I chose the bracket to look at that doesn't have the times or the places. But I'd like Mick Cronin to suffer because he's just annoying to me. Like he's just kind of like the thing with Dan Hurley is he's annoying, but he backs it up with winning. Mick Cronin just doesn't do that, right? Like we all find Mick Cronin like annoying, right? I think he's 5'6", and I really can't say much as a 5'8" man, but like he's 6'5". Tennessee's gonna be Wofford. I want Wofford to win. Tennessee's gonna win. I think I said Wofford last week. Like Wofford being 6th in their conference and winning their conference tournament and getting here rocks. I'd like them to win. They're not, but I'd like them to. Do I think honestly? I think the Elite Eight is Houston, Tennessee. I feel like I'm choosing like a lot of like 1s and 2s this year. In the Elite Eight, which I mean, it's not a bad, like, say what you want about upsets and Cinderellas. It's not actually a bad idea to choose like 1s and 2s. It's more often than not the right choice, but I think Houston gets out of that. Houston Duke will hurt me because Duke was going to win that in my prediction. But we'll see what happens. I keep saying that. Of course, we're going to see what happens. It's what's his watch and see what happens with Andy Cohen. I don't know. Last region is the West region. It seems like I don't want Florida. I don't think Florida is going to win this. I don't think St. John's is going to win this. I don't think this region is like. I've seen a lot of talk about this region as being like a tough region. I don't think it is. Like, it is, but like whoever comes out of that region, it's not going to win the national championship. Famous last words. But I really just don't think it is. Like, if you look at the bottom 4 teams, so you have Kansas, Arkansas, St. John's, and Omaha. St. John's is the only good team from that like 4-pack. Bill Self had to release a statement saying he was sorry how bad the team was. Calipari's barely held Arkansas together. Omaha is Omaha. I mean, listen, Omaha, you're Omaha, and Rick Pitino is Rick Pitino. Okay, so that's one team there. I think I said a Drake. Drake is scrapping up to where I think they could make it to the Elite Eight. Probably not. GCU, I need to look at their stock price. So here's the thing: should I do options on this? What should GCU's parent company? Because the thing is, I might want to do some calls on this. Because like, what if I did option or calls and puts on this? If I did both, should I do the? Sorry, you have to hear me yawn again. I've been talking for an hour. It's probably really loud. Should I put calls and puts on the? I think it's Lope stock. It's probably there's not 100 degrees. What is it? What is the parent company? Oh, okay. I think it's Lope, but I'm gonna keep looking as I keep talking. But I mean, if I could make some money because like. The broke idea, my voice cracks. The broke idea is to make money through sports betting. Okay. The woke idea is to make money by gambling on the market on GCU's parent company. Just because I think that's a smart play. I could make some money on this. I mean, well, I need to find out what their stock is again. I can't remember what their stock is. I think it's Lope. Why do I think it's Lope? Or maybe it's the I'm gonna come back with this. Sorry. FYI, I'm not stupid. It is Lope. It's on the NASDAQ. It's just Grand Canyon Education Inc. It's at 167.25 right now. Is it down? I mean, the market's down, so it's probably down. It's down. Not by much. I mean, there's the highest it was 187 on the 20th of February. I mean, if I put some calls and puts on this, like I can't be that bad, right? Like I feel like I could make money on this. I mean, again, the woke idea is to make money on this somehow. Let's see if I can hold on. I'm gonna look if I can use Robinhood for some call options. Okay, yeah, just right there. Trade. Universal move. Can I trade options? Oh, yes. Okay. I can I can call and I can put. I might actually investigate this tonight. March 21st. I think I do. I think I have to do March 21st, right? You have to see how they do this weekend. Actually, I wonder what their stock price. Let's do year to date. What was their stock last year at this time? Thursday, January. Oh no, I want you 1 year. Okay. So let's look at their stock. I know I should actually just share my screen, but I'm going to keep talking about this. Their stock last year at this time was, oh, wow. Okay. So their stock, now this could be just, for the record, this could be just a general market, right? About this time last year, it was 133.30. And by how far did they get in the tournament? I mean, by May, it was 148. It did go down to the tournament. So I don't know if there's a positive or negative correlation to this. All I'm saying is that if you want to make some money, not sports betting and just betting on the market, give some calls and puts. This is not financial advice, but it feels fun. It's actually more fun somehow. Because this time, you're betting like the financial institutions. Before, you've just been like, hey, do I think Grand Canyon's going to cover? Now, do I think, is Grand Canyon going to have a university tomorrow? Is someone going to lose billions of dollars? Also, the kind of crazy their stock price is that high. I wonder how many shares they have out. But it doesn't seem crazy to you that a university has a public stock. Like that does seem crazy to me. Like universities, I mean, when growing up, I always thought of universities as the Harvards of the world, these perennial institutions. And that's just weird to me that they have. I mean, this is the only one. The volume per day is 121,000. I need to see who owns this. Now I'm just like so interested in this Grand Canyon's stock. Just because I wonder. I mean, does BlackRock own this? Do we think BlackRock? I mean, do you think BlackRock owns this, and do you think the owners of GCU stock think about the tournament at all? Like is the tournament at all? And their estimates, do they think like, hey, if they make it into the tournament, stock price is going to go up, buddy? They're also women's team. I think won the it's not the Sun Belt, whatever conference they're in. I totally forgot. I think it's the West. It's not the West Coast. I don't know. I think the women's won their team. But I've been talking for an hour and 10 minutes. Thanks for staying around this long. If you want to. Just look at the stock. It is really crazy to me that you can just buy. Yeah, there's the Oakland baseball team. What is it? It's I'm sorry. You're gonna have to listen to me talk right now, because I can't do it. I can't. Oakland Ballers. There we go. So you can buy some of the Oakland Ballers. I think a share is at $500. I'm thinking about joining. I don't know why. I've always wanted to like own part of a team. There have been like soccer teams that you can do that too. But I've always wanted to own part of a team. Just so I do think that's kind of a cool idea, to own part of a team. And just like have like one share, even though it's $500. Like, it's not that, like I said, it's not that much. It's really not that much to pay $500 to own some stock, like own some share of the team. I wonder if their public thing's closed now, because I think it was there. They would open it last week. Oh, hey, there we go. Because Billy Joe Armstrong, I bought into it, the guy from Green Day. Let me go to the investment round. Oh, you just have to go to invest. Okay. Okay. Share price 70 cents, minimum investment $510. There's $575,000 and this $2 million round. So if anyone wants to buy some of the Oakland Ballers, which I might, I'm down. Maybe Brian and I buy some of the Oakland Ballers, and we do it together, and we have like Moon Stamp as the owner. But we have to make Moon Stamp an entity. That's actually not that hard. So I don't know. I've been talking for a while. I'm sorry, Brian, if you're still listening. Love you. Hope you're having a great time on your trip. Just one last thing. This weekend is not only the NCAA tournament, it's also the NCAA wrestling tournament, which I will be watching as well. So this will be a very fun weekend for me. I'll talk about that more like next weekend. I think I'm losing like my ability to talk. I'm like slurring. It's because I talked about the investment price. They're watching me. But yeah. So thank you so much for listening or watching or whatever you're doing. Thanks for listening to me ramble for like an hour and 12 minutes about nothing. I appreciate you so much. Find me at Jordan's Thoughts on Twitter. Find Brian at Auric Polaris, AURICPOLARIS on Twitch and Twitter as well. You can follow him there. I feel like I should tweet more about weird things. I found also on Moon Stamp on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok while supplies last. Thank you so much for listening. You have a wonderful rest of your week. Have a fun time this weekend. Watch 56 hours of basketball this weekend for me. Do it for me. Please do it for me. That felt like weirdly like sexual. Sorry. But yeah, have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week. Brian will be back next week. Thank God. And so if you're listening, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever. Stay beautiful.